1,000 suicides linked to hard economic times in Britain. A painful economic recession, rising unemployment, and biting austerity measures may have already driven more than 1,000 people in Britain to commit suicide, according to a study just published last week. The study, a so-called time trend analysis, which compared the actual number of suicides with those expected if pre-recession trends had continued, reflects findings elsewhere in Europe where suicides are also on the rise. Between 2000 and 2010, each annual 10% increase in the number of unemployed people was associated with a 1.4% increase in the number of male suicides.
It's all fueled by artificially cheap money from a corrupt central bank, Bank of England, that is helping fraudsters like all the banks in the UK. And so this is resulting in suicide in the near term. And then there's the slow suicide called the British economy. And then there's the slower suicide called the global economy. The suicidal tendencies of the UK economy, as evidenced by the program of quantitative easing, has the result of dead bodies everywhere. That's the proof it's working, because you've consumed yourself to death, and that's considered a net gain for GDP. GDP does not calculate anything having to do with a sustainable economy and life-affirming qualities. The only thing that contributes to GDP in the UK, in the US, in the G20 countries is suicide. If you commit suicide fast, like they do in India, the farmers are committing thousands of suicide a month because of Monsanto. That's considered a growth story. The emerging market, it's a happening country. They're committing suicide really fast. Then there's the UK. People are committing suicide at a more leisurely British pace, like, oh, darling, I think I'll top myself.